Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to get into something a little bit controversial. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Man Cave Media. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about a topic that's a little controversial. All right. So, if I made a short, I made a short the other day. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but took y'all on a trip to my local Goodwill, and while I was at Goodwill, I picked out this Miss Congeniality 2-pack and brought it home. Showed my wife. She's like, "Oh, she's so excited." She's like, "These are one of her favorite movies. You know, they come in the 2-pack with 1 and 2." And she's like, "I want to watch it." I was like, "All right, cool." I was excited that she got excited about something I picked up, and then she wants to watch it. So anyways, we popped in the first one. We're having a good time. We're watching it, and then halfway through the film, it just cut out. It just paused. It skipped a few times and it just paused. It just froze. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was playing it in my PS4. And the PS4, I just had the laser replaced on it because it went out. And so I knew that shouldn't be an issue with the player. So I'm like, it's got to be something wrong with the disc. But while I was at Goodwill, and every time I'm buying used movies, I always check the disc. It's bit me in the past. I always check the disc, right? Always check the disc for scratches. Like you can see here, we do have a few scratches, but these are very light scratches. And in my history of collecting movies, playing movies, these light scratches don't affect the movie whatsoever, especially for DVDs. I'm not exactly sure Blu-rays. I haven't really bought or owned any Blu-rays that are scratched. I think Blu-rays are a little bit more durable. And I don't really know anything about 4Ks that much. So I'm not collecting 4Ks just yet. So anyways, this one has some surface scratching, but it's not that bad at all. So I took it out, I looked at it, I wiped it, put it back in, same thing. So I was like, all right, well, we've already seen this movie. Let me just skip ahead, past this spot, and then we'll just watch the rest of the movie. So like I said, it stopped in the middle. I went to the chapter selections, and I just skipped ahead to all these different scenes, all the way to the end of the movie, and none of them wanted to play. None of them whatsoever. So I pulled out the disc, I looked at it again, and I noticed something on the outer rim of the disc that I didn't see when I bought it. Now, this is the controversial part about this. There is something called disc rot. I've heard about it. People want to argue about it. They show pictures. That's not disc rot. That's not disc rot. There's no such thing as disc rot. It shouldn't affect the disc at all. Whatever. So I looked at what I'm seeing on the inside of the disc, and I went to Google Image disc rot. And what I saw looked exactly like what I have here. So I'll show you what it looks like on the disc best I can. Best way to look at it is with a flashlight, but I did take it outside before I started filming this to show y'all what it looks like in the sunlight. So I'll show that here. Here we are, guys. We're outside in the daylight. It's kind of probably the easiest way I can show y'all. But you can see right here that kind of change of color, that kind of like blurriness. It's all around the outside of the disc. I don't know if you can see that, especially right here. You see the rainbow, and then it kind of goes a little faded, like a little band. See if I can show you another angle of this, but it goes all the way around the outside. See if I can turn it a little bit. See, right there it's a bit worse, it's a bit wider, but I do believe that is disc rot. So, see if I can show y'all a little bit better. I can do it with my flashlight, but it's kind of hard to show y'all with the flashlight on the camera. But figured out here in the sun, it might be easier to see. But I think y'all saw it. Like I said, it's on the outside here. But like I said, I only played about half the movie, and then the back half just didn't play at all. So. So what is disc rot? So Google says that disc rot is the chemical deterioration of optical discs that cause the reflective data layer to degrade. This irreversible process is caused by oxidation, or it could be the poor manufacturing of the disc, or it could be the environmental exposure that the disc was put against that will corrupt the data on the reflective layer that will eventually leave the disc unreadable. So like I said, I bought this at Goodwill. I don't know what kind of life it had before this. You know, if it was, you know, just in like a storage shed or something, or, you know, in someone's garage. I have mine in my garage. Anyways, but yeah, it's just, I also looked up that, you know, when you first start the movie, it goes from the middle out. So that kind of explains why the second half of the movie would not read. But it's a bummer. You know, my wife didn't get to finish her favorite movie, but I did order a new disc on eBay for about $4. So it's not the big loss. You know, it's a cheap movie. Everyone has Miss Congeniality, #1. But you look at my pictures, you know, tell me what you think. This is my first experience with disc rot, so I might be wrong. It could be just something else wrong with the disc, but I would definitely be more careful when I'm buying thrifted movies. Like I said, I always look for scratches, but you really can't see this layer of disc rot unless you shine it in some light or shine a flashlight on it. You shine a flashlight on it, you see it immediately. So, but it's definitely to look out for. I would definitely highly advise, if you're buying thrifted or used movies, look at the disc for scratches, but also definitely look for that disc rot. Like I said, you know, you have your reflection, you know, mirror layer, and then it doesn't look like anything else, you know, on this layer. It just looks like, it almost looks like someone spilled something on it and then wiped it away. It's almost like it's stained, you know. But tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for clicking on my video, and I'll talk to y'all again soon.